A moment later, her eyes blink, and a moan escapes her mouth. Slowly, she utters, "Father?" Unable to believe his eyes and ears, Faust kneels and cries in overwhelming ecstasy. They embrace each other for an endless time. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to my lovely daughter. I'm your host, the Birdman known as Falcon. Today is going to be the final episode for the story and the real ending. Now, mind you, a couple of you guys have mentioned to me that there is actually one personality infusion that I'm missing, and there's also about 2 or 3 alternate endings in the game. And since we have done everything in the game thus far, I think it would be kind of silly for us to not cover that as well. So here's what I'm planning for this video today. Today we'll actually do the final infusion, get the real ending, and wrap it up nice and well that way. However, I will do one more video after this one, which will be kind of like more of a bonus one, where I will show off the infusion that I'm missing for the personalities, and we'll also cover the alternate endings as well, because I've heard it's more convenient to do the alternate endings on a fresh save file, as opposed to this one right here, which is basically at the end. So I think that'll basically cover everything we have acquired, all the interactions. I believe today we're also going to get the final entry in the journal in here. So hopefully that works out for you guys, and it's been a really fun series. This has actually been such a really fun game. I'm quite surprised how well this went. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely have enjoyed it myself, and I'm glad that we have basically covered everything in the game thus far. So let's see what we're missing here for the final journal entry. There it is. There it is. That's the last one. Let's get to it. November 4th. This is far beyond my expectations. People from the village queue up every morning in front of my house just to hire a homunculus to help them. Thankfully, my lovely daughter is more than happy to help me with my work. She is so cute. With life as good as this, I finally feel that my past is behind me. So that was November. Next year, March 28th. This is nonsense. He said it was my blood that he wanted. I have been tricked. I cannot accept this. Why did he take her soul? It was supposed to have been mine. Everything that I have done was for her. Why did he not just leave us alone? Why did he do this to me? Just let me die. Bring my daughter back. She does not deserve this. It was my fault. Uh-oh. Turns out the Master Warlock had other intentions in mind when he helped us out. So instead of taking my soul, took the daughter instead. And thus that explains, get her back, liar, it is all my fault. Alright, so we have now filled out the journal itself. Let's get to it over here and do some homunculi sacrificing. Now this is going to be a really sacrifice heavy video because I believe not only will we have to sacrifice the ones that we have available here, but we also probably have to create a couple more that are kind of like decent level and sacrifice them immediately so we get the right amount of affinities, because we're looking at these affinities over here. I don't believe we'll be able to meet them with the ones that we have. We'll give it a shot right now, but I really doubt it's going to happen. And I believe the only new one that we have will be Eradicate. Everybody else we have... Oh, and you. I don't think I've killed you before. So these will be the new ones, and then everybody else we have seen their death animations before. So let's start off with the new one then. We have Eradicate. What we should do as well, since we do a lot of sacrificing, let's also pray for the mimicry thing so we have much more items to fuse the extra ones that we might need. So Eradicate, let's get to it. What the hell did he do to her? Faust was amazed to see that one of his creations had rodent characteristics. He is happy when it is time to kill her, poisoning her like any other rodent before feeding her soul to his daughter. Wow. That's the first time we've seen anything like poison related in the game, I would say, right? He poisoned Cheese like she was really a rat. I mean, she was a rodent character, but... oh boy. Alrighty. Now here's the stone one. I don't even know how he's gonna take care of her, but let's find out. Oh, he pushed her into the water like he did with, the Meg one. The iron one, if I'm right. She destroys everything with her massive stone hands. Faust does not like this behavior. When the time comes, he ties her up with a metal chain while she is sleeping, and throws her into the water. Wow, while she's sleeping too, so... Can we imagine that she died in her sleep then? Maybe, I mean, if you're drowning, I imagine you would probably wake up. I mean, your lungs are being filled with water and you're suffocating, so good. You know, drowning has always seemed like a really terrible death to me just because of what it entails. Like, I mean, every death sounds, you know, like, pretty morbid. But drowning is like one of the scariest ones out there. Maybe for me it's because I don't know how to swim, so I know that if I'm in a situation where I'm in water, I'm boned. I got nowhere to go myself. Alright, Meg. We can skip this because we have seen it before. And we got 2 more over here. So, let's see. I just hope that we get close enough to get the affinities. Then we'll just probably create a couple of them really quickly and take care of them that way. Now, we've gotten all the letters as well. I believe you guys have mentioned that there's basically 9 total letters per daughter that you could acquire, but they're all variations of each other. Like, the main ones are the first 3 that you get, and then the other ones will just be kind of like variations of letters from the other daughters, so you can get up to 9, but they're all just variations of the first 3, is what I've read. And there we go. So all of them have now been sacrificed. Let's find out exactly what we're missing here. So when it comes to sadness, we're at 760. And we require 538. So I think for this one, all we really have to do... Oh, that's not going to work. If we drop her down 1, it'll be 660, which is still too high. If I drop her twice, it'll be 560. If I drop her 3 times, it'll be 460, which is below that. So we have to make like a small level infusion afterwards, right? Let's see if I'm right about this. Yeah. Okay, so let's start off by... I mean, yeah, what happens if I burn? This is sadness, right? What happens if I burn this one instead? Oh, 200, that's good. Oh, it's still the same thing, because, yeah, it would still, because if I have to drop it one more time, it would be 460. So we have to make a small level infusion then. Because now it's at 460, we're looking at it 478 at least, so let's see, we need a small level infusion for sadness. Now what gives me sadness? We don't need too much, just a little bit. So we'll do like clay, and iron. I think that should be enough, I hope. Let's see, you're at level 3. Let's see how much do you give me at 3. I'm not really sure how much they give you. But we're just looking at like under 150 maybe? 135. I think that's enough. 595? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, come on. But you know what? If we drop it by 100, it'll be 495, which is enough. Okay, good, that's fine. So, burn gift for sadness one more time. I'm so glad I have a bunch of these affinity items here left over. Perfect. So, sadness is now under control. Next one, joy at 390. And we need joy at 671 to 731. So this one has to be a little bit higher level than usual. And you'll be level 5. That should be enough, I would imagine. I feel like this last video right now, I'm just being completely heartless like Faust, where it's kind of like, just bring them up, sacrifice them, bring them up, sacrifice them. Oh, wait a minute, is that enough? 640, oh, I think we're... Oh, we need to go up by at least 90, not over 100, but 90. Alright, let's see what we got here, my god. I'm just going crazy with these sacrifices today. 65, perfect, that's under 90. So now joy is 705, which is perfect. Sadness and joy under control. Anger, 767 to 827. So once again, we're gonna need a really high level. As a matter of fact, we'll probably even go to level 3s on this one. Alrighty guys, so I went ahead and I continued doing my killing off camera here. And we have the proper infusion numbers that we need for the soul. So 705 over here, 495 here, 765, and 825. It is time for us to infuse here and see what happens. The ritual has ended, but nothing seems to change. Her body is still rigid. Just as Faust thinks all hope is lost, her fingers twitch a little. Faust's anticipation reignites his confidence. A moment later, her eyes blink. and a moan escapes her mouth. Slowly, she utters, "Father?" Unable to believe his eyes and ears, Faust kneels and cries in overwhelming ecstasy. They embrace each other for an endless time. Faust's mind wanders. All he has been through, everything he has suffered, the whole tragedy of his life, none of it matters anymore. He wants only to enjoy the moment, until a sharp object pierces him. Faust falls down to the floor, blood spilling out around him. What has happened? Anxious and scared, he looks up to where his daughter is standing over him. No. 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 It is not possible. How can this be? The moment she crouches down and takes hold of his head, Faust can clearly see her eyes. They are not Arya's. They belong to the Master Warlock. Disguised as Arya, he chuckles as he lets Faust plunge into the pool of his own blood. The Master Warlock speaks magical incantations whilst Faust's consciousness began to fade out. He can barely feel his own body. A faint voice rings through the room. "Hello, old friend." It seems so distant. Faust feels light, almost as if he is floating, as if some magical force is pulling him up. Then everything goes bright. His time has come. He knows it. But he is not ready. Not until he puts everything in the right place. So weak, so tired. Faust does not want to wake up yet. But someone keeps shaking his body. Slowly, he opens his eyes. It is a woman. Knowing she is no angel, Faust realizes he is still alive after all. But what for? The Master Warlock took everything away from him. Even his body is not his own. Nevertheless, the woman is tending his wounds, preserving his body. Her care instills some spirit into him once more. To repay his debt, Faust helps her with his alchemy and sorcery skills. With homunculi in her shop, it becomes the most successful business in the village. Left with only one reason to live, Faust plots how to exact revenge on the Master Warlock. But he is nowhere to be found. No one has even heard rumors of his whereabouts. Faust knows he will show up eventually, and that he must be prepared. Faust sets out on a journey to hone his magical power. After years of study and effort, he becomes a truly powerful wizard himself. His fame spreads across the country. People start referring to him as... What? The Master Warlock? At that moment, a bolt of lightning strikes his mind. He remembers that he has never forgotten how the Master Warlock tricked him, and how the Master Warlock took his daughter's soul. He remembers how he hates the Master Warlock, and now he realizes that he himself is the Master Warlock. He has unmatched power, immense knowledge of alchemy and dark magic. However, his life will soon end. Finally, he understands why the Master Warlock took his body. He understands why the Master Warlock put him through the hell. Realizing this truth, he now has to choose. Will he bring misery to his past self to maintain his power and wealth? Or will he let young Faust live with his family and achieve happiness? With more time, he is convinced that he can keep his power and wealth while still being able to save his own family. He only needs to ensure that he can prolong his life, to ensure that his life will be written the way it was before. He starts his gambit. He contacts his old friend and savior to set the plan in motion. Slowly, but surely, the story is rewritten. He needs to make sure that Faust is mentally broken. He starts by poisoning his wife, then he takes away his daughter. He uses both the wife and daughter's souls to strengthen his own weak soul. Then he continues his act, thinking he can save time and extract young Faust's soul after the devastating event. But Faust's will to live is still strong. It is then he realizes that young Faust has gone insane, but not because he lost his loved ones. Instead, it is because of the hatred that Faust has for himself, the Master Warlock. He now understands that his drive to move forward is not fueled by care for his family, but by his ego and being tricked. His failed attempt to extract young Faust's soul has made his power weak. he has only enough energy for one more extraction. He places Faust's daughter's body on the bed and prepares to extract his own soul. To ensure young Faust will take care of his soul, he erases Faust's memory of the past 2 years and puts a spell on young Faust's book to give him direction and purpose. Then he extracts his own soul into the soul chamber. Young Faust wakes up, not knowing that a circle of damnation will repeat itself. What? What are we like time traveling now or what? We're doing what happened in... It's a vicious endless cycle. It's a vicious endless cycle. And his anger for being tricked is what keeps him fueling to do it over and over and over until he finally changes fate. And that's the thing. I guess that's what it comes down to in the end. Fate. Can you change fate? Is it predetermined or not? And apparently, the Master Warlock, aka Faust, is dead sure that he could change fate by doing the same thing over and over and over until it finally happens. Which apparently will not happen. Well, I think we all expected to not have a good ending, right? I mean, we all knew that from the start. The name Faust for the character was picked for a reason. If you look up Faust, there's like this entire story about his, like, you know, his life. I mean, like the story behind the Faust character. If you look it up, go ahead and look it up. It's actually pretty intriguing. But considering everything we did in this game, I don't think we all expected a happy ending. But I didn't expect like some sort of vicious cycle either. Wowee. Well, there you guys have it. Let me know what you think of the ending itself, if you enjoyed it or not, if you thought it was good or not. I kind of like it. I mean, just because I never came in here expecting honestly, after the first video that I did, I never expected a happy ending, just because of all the vicious things we were doing. Man. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed it. This is my lovely daughter. As I mentioned, one more video still left over, which I will do the personality infusion we're still missing. And we will also get the other 2 or 3 alternate endings, I believe, in the game. So I'll do that with the extra video to be kind of like a bonus thing. It probably won't be as long as this one, it'll be just a bit more shorter. But we'll do that. And with that video, we basically would have covered everything. Because if I go to the gallery here, it seems we're missing... We're missing a couple of pictures here. Couple of scenes, which I imagine have to do with the endings, the personality that we're missing probably here, and the couple of alternate endings as well. Yeah, and I do want to get those, so there you guys have it. I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around for the last video, which will give us the complete circle with the alternate endings, and that'll be it. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for the amazing support, and I will catch you next time.